Hi, welcome back to the Crypto Dave YouTube channel. Now it's the 1st of February today, and as usual I'm doing my monthly update video. Now, as I mentioned last time, I'm not doing a separate Burstcoin mining video anymore. That will be wrapped into the mining profits, which I'll go over in a minute. But this video, basically I'm going to go over my investment portfolios and mining portfolios and explain how they've performed in January 2018. So I suppose the first thing to say is obviously it's been a month of two halves, January. So the first half of the month we saw a massive run up, and then after that a huge sell off and a big drop off in the markets, and that was kind of really across the board. And you can see that in the graph here. So this is my investment portfolio, but you can see basically the same thing mirrored on my mining portfolio as well. So the investment portfolio, nothing really massive has happened this month. I haven't made any more investments this month. The only thing that I suddenly realized was that I actually bought some Bitcoin, £1,000 worth of Bitcoin at the beginning of October, and I didn't actually put it into the spreadsheet or the crypto compare portfolio at the time. So I've just added that in, backdated it to the correct date and the amount that I received. So that's the only change really I've made this month. The portfolio as a whole is still up quite substantially. So my acquisition cost in total was £7,769, and my holdings this morning, they've gone down a big chunk today. So there's been another pullback today, but at midnight, which is when I grabbed the figures, the holdings were £17,654. So it's a profit of £9,885 over the portfolio as a whole, and that's down £2,775 since this time last month. So big drop off this month. You know, we had some great gains at the beginning of the month, particularly with Ethereum within my investment portfolio. Ethereum's done really well, and it's still over $1,000 now. But you know, Bitcoin has really suffered. NavCoin's had a big pullback, and you know, everything else has really kind of pulled back with Bitcoin. So not a huge month. I haven't invested anything else this month, and you know, the big pullback in Bitcoin and then all the altcoins has meant that, you know, we're down just under 3,000 on last month, but we're still up massively overall. So we're well over double our initial investment since May. So moving over to the mining portfolio, so this is maybe a little bit more interest. So there's more coins here. So first of all, let me just run you through the overall figures. Now, I always put the acquisition cost down as zero. It's not, you know, truthfully zero, because I pay electricity costs. I bought some mining equipment, stuff like that, but it's very difficult to try and split that as an acquisition across different coins. So I just put this down as zero and just show the what basically the portfolio value here. So this morning it was $98,399. It's dropped about 7,000 since midnight, so over the last 11 hours. Now that's down $7,341 from last month. So as you can see here, it's a bit more marked here. So we had that massive sort of pump at the beginning of the month. We went up to 140,000, a little bit of a pullback back up to that sort of 140,000 odd mark, and then a huge drop off. So I went all the way down to about 85,000. This is on a daily chart, down, or 6-hour chart I think this is, so down to 85,000, and we were back to 98 this morning. So we pulled back some of the kind of gain. So first half of the month was great, big sell off, and then we've seen some flatter movement, more some sideways movement. So it's tried to pull back. Every time we've had like a little run up, it's dropped back down again. But these peaks and troughs are a lot smaller obviously than that sort of mid-month one. So hopefully we're now in a period of consolidation, and you know, as we run through sort of Chinese New Year, middle of February and stuff like that, you know, I anticipate the market, you know, hopefully to start picking up again. But let's run over the coin changes that I've made this month. So I just noticed there that Pillars changed their logo, but if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see that this was the first month that I started really sort of moving into the kind of staking and masternode stuff in a little bit more detail. So you can see here on the 3rd of January was when I bought my first syndicate. We're now up and running with a masternode. I'll go through the masternode profits in a separate video, hopefully in the next week or so. But that's been pretty profitable. The staking's been quite good, and I'll run you over the staking returns in a minute or so. But I also, the other two things I did this month were I swapped one Ethereum for Request Network, and I bought one Ethereum's worth of Icon project. Now both of those are down substantially on what one Ethereum would be worth, which is basically what I bought. I also bought an Ethereum's worth of Amise Go. I had just a tiny amount of Amise Go before, so basically put one Ethereum into Amise Go, one into Request Network, and one into Icon Project, and they're all down on, you know, what Ethereum would be itself, but you know, I've got hopes for these kind of projects in the long term. I did a little bit of mining on Bulwark at the beginning of the month, or mid-month, so the 14th of January I started that, so you can see just mined just under 7 of those, literally just $30 worth. I'm not mining that at the moment, but it was just a test really I did. And then towards the end of the month I bought some neutron, so this is going to be my next staking / masternode sort of update. So I'm staking at the moment on neutron. I've received the first few stakes in now, and I'm building up hopefully to a masternode on that. But let's jump over and I'll tell you basically how much I mined of everything this month. So firstly, Burstcoin, I'll put all these figures below so you can see them in more detail, but Burstcoin was a really poor month this month. It was the worst month I've ever had. I only hit 2 blocks, and altogether I mined 2,632 burst, which is $101.75. So, you know, the increase in price, you know, meant that, you know, even though I was mining a lot less, you know, it was still, you know, profitable for me to do that, using very little electricity on that Burstcoin mining machine. And then Digibyte. So Digibyte last month was fantastic. So I'm pointing my Antminer R4 to Digibyte. And obviously at the beginning of last month I was mining well over 1,000 Digibyte a day, and then we had that massive run up of Digibyte, and basically loads of people jumped onto Digibyte and started mining, and I'm now actually just mining just less than 200 a day. So I was hoping this month that, you know, people would start migrating back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash and other coins, but it doesn't seem to have happened. The network hash rate has remained pretty high. So anyway, I mined 5,796 Digibyte, which was worth $289.90 at today's prices. I mined a tiny bit of Dash. I didn't mine this directly, but I found my very old Genesis mining contract. It was like $100 contract that I've had for a good year or so, and that was set to pay out in Dash. So I actually received 0.025 Dash, which is just over $17, so almost $17.50 worth of Dash. Groestlcoin I was mining earlier in the month, and I mined 34 of those, which is worth $26.22. I've been mining Zencash, so my 1070 rig, which I'll do an update on and a little overview of that soon. But that's mining Zencash, as well as periodically I've had my main desktop, which has a 1080 Ti in there. That's been mining Zencash on and off. And I've mined 7.5 Zencash, which is $342.53. Bulwark, which I mentioned previously, which is just down here, I've mined 6.91, which is $29.85 this morning. Electroneum, I've done a little bit of CPU mining sporadically on Electroneum this month. I've mined 80 of them, which is $6.49. I've stopped doing that now. And then over to the staking stuff. So my NAV coins have staked 19.62 NAV coins, which is $40.61. My syndicate has been fantastic since I set that up. So that's been less than a full month of having a masternode, the beginning of the month, just doing a bit of staking. But I staked 340 syndicate, which this morning was worth $333.37. So that's proving very, very profitable. And then neutron, which I started about a week ago, I've staked rather 24.61 neutron, which was $11.57. So when I grabbed the figures this morning, that was a total of $1,199.73, so basically $1,200. So it's been a pretty decent month mining wise. The Digibyte stuff's been quite disappointing. I may look to move my Antminer either back onto Bitcoin or even Bitcoin Cash. I'll see how that works in the next week. I'll probably give it another week and then make a decision on that. But if the payouts don't increase with Digibyte, I might move to something else. But that's been a bit disappointing. Burst has been a little bit disappointing. I think the network has basically, we saw a big spike in price in December, and I think the network has probably increased in size. I haven't gone in to have a look at particularly at this, but I noticed there were a lot of people talking about kind of Burstcoin. Some of my older Burstcoin videos had become a lot more popular again. A lot of people were asking comments in those, so I presume there's more people probably mining Burst now, which has meant that, you know, with our, what's it, about 32.5 terabytes, we're just mining proportionally less as the network gets bigger. But anyway, overall, you know, $1,200 has been a decent month of mining and staking. As I mentioned before, I'm moving maybe a sort of I think probably you know, an effort to move more into staking and masternodes this year for me. But you know, I still like mining. I'll still be doing the mining videos, and I'm still mining here, so it's not something I'm going to stop doing at all. But anyway, that's it for this month. The mining's gone pretty well. Obviously, the market has been, you know, very, very bad in January. We're down massively on where we were at the middle of the month, and even down, you know, quite a chunk now on where we were at the beginning of the month. So hopefully February is a month where we see some consolidation and some more gains. But you know, things can't keep going up forever. You know, there's always, you know, what goes up must come down. We had such a run up in December and the beginning of January. You know, there had to be a correction at some point, and we're seeing that now. But if you believe in crypto in the long term, it's nothing to kind of worry about. You know, sit there on your coins, you know, continue to kind of mine and stake if that's what you're interested in, that's what you're doing, and, you know, see what the next month holds. But anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully I will see you on the next video, but have a great day. Thanks very much. Bye bye.